Right, so for today we are going to discuss some harder example from binomial distribution. Okay, so the harder question will be example 18 and 19. I labeled them as two-stage questions. That means in one same question, they are asking for different stages of questions. But both of them are binomial, just that they are asking for different stages. Okay, so example 18, to me, I think it's easier for you to get the answer. So I will skip it and leave it for you to get the answer yourself. I will discuss example 19 with you. All right. Okay, so let's have a look for example 19. All right, so if you read the question, okay, so the probability of more than 20 cm of snow falling on any particular day is 0.21. Okay, so this is the probability that more than 20 cm of snow falling on any particular day. Okay, so find the probability that in any 7-day period in winter, fewer than 5 days have more than 20 cm of snow falling. Okay, so if you look at this question, there are a lot of values here. All right, so some of the value is actually not really related to binomial distribution. Okay, so you have a look for the question first. They are talking about fewer than 5 days. So for this question, they are focused on number of days. Fewer than 5 days. So what is the total number of days that you have? 7. All right, and then number of days. What happened to the days? Have more than 20 cm of snow falling. So if you want to write out in a very detailed way, then you can define your x equals to x, what x is the number of days. Okay, so number of days have more than 20 cm of snow falling. Alright, so I know that this is binomial distributed. What are the total number of days that you have in this case? 7-day period, also 7 days. And then what's the probability of having more than 20 cm of snow falling? So it should be 0.21. Okay, so from this particular question, what are they talking about? They said fewer than 5 days. So they want to get the probability, the number of days is less than 5, fewer than 5. So no equal sign here. Alright, so if let's say fewer than 5 means that you can start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 is still a bit too long, so I would prefer to use 1 minus. Okay, so 1 minus less than 5, right, in our answer. So when you want to minus, you should start from the 5, include the 5. So you should have 7C5, 0.21 power 5, then 0.79 power 2. Then minus 7C6, okay, 0.21 power 6, 0.79 power 1. Then minus 7C7, 0.21 power 7, then 0.79 power 0. Alright, so again, I am not worried about all this formula. If let's say I can guide you how to write correct symbol, then I believe that you can get a correct answer. So please make sure when you try all this, right, you have to make sure that when you read the question, do you know that it is a binomial distribution or not? That's the most important technique, right? Okay, then if let's say you press the calculator correctly, then you should get 0.994. Alright, so for this first part, they are talking about number of days are fewer than 5 days. Alright, okay, then if we proceed further, if you read the question for part number 2, for 4 randomly chosen 7 days period in winter, find the probability that exactly 3 of these periods will have at least 1 day with more than 20 cm of snow. So if you look at this one, it becomes much more complicated already. So many values here, and then how are you going to start and answer the question? Okay, and please take note that this is a partial question. So that means your question can set some question like this. So this is what I call as two-stage questions. Why? Because if you look at the question properly, for this part number 2, they are asking for what? Exactly 3 of these periods. So for now, they actually not focus in days anymore, but they are focusing on the number of periods. Alright, so how many periods in total you have? So if you read the question again, you're having 4 randomly 7-day periods in winter. All right. Okay, so if you look at this one, let us write it as y lah. Y is the number of period, right? So y is binomial distributed again. And then the total number of periods you have is 4. Okay, then you need to put in the P. What should you put in here? So when you want to put in here, okay, so you have to see what happened to the period. So they said we'll have at least 1 day with more than 20 cm snow falling. So you need to actually find out the probability for at least 1 day first. Then only you can put in here. Okay, then only you can continue with the calculation. So that's why I say this question as a 2-stage question, because you, besides the number of days, which is the first stage, we are having the second stage question, which is periods, right? The number of periods. Okay, so let's start with this one. Okay, so again, x is still the same. X is still the number of days have more than 20 cm of snow falling. All right, so first I need to get the probability. At least 1 day with more than 20 cm of snow falling. So what's the probability for at least 1 day? So greater equals to 1. Alright, so x greater equals to 1 means that you can take 1 minus x equals to 0. So that means 7c0, 0.21 power 0, 0.79 power 7. Alright, so I hope that you can get this idea. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, for this one, if you get the answer correctly, it should be 0.808. Alright, so the 808 is actually the answer that you cut it short into 2 different figures. Okay, so if let's say in exam, if you want to write it long, it should be, okay, I maybe write out the long answer for you lah. Okay, so you should have 0.807960910. It looks very long, right? Okay, but I write it out for you first. Then you can write it become 0.808. 3 significant figure. Alright, so this is the probability of at least 1 day with more than 20 cm of snow falling. Okay, then now we proceed to our second stage here. So the second stage we are talking about number of periods. Okay, but because the definition is too long. You should write a number of periods will have at least 1 day with more than 20 cm of snow. But I'm lazy to write out. Okay, so I just write it out in shortcut. Okay, so in total you are having, what is the distribution symbol? So it is y, is binomial distributed. In total you are having 4. Okay, so you're having 4 periods in total. And after that, the probability that at least 1 day with more than 20 cm snow falling, we already calculated just now, which is 0.808. Okay, right, so please wait for a while. My file is loading now. Okay, hope that it is not hang. It will start. Okay, so I think I will stop here for a while, then I come back again with the correct file.